Welcome to Real Filmmaking. My name is Corey Tindall. The background might look a little bit different to you today if you're a returning viewer. If you're new, you chose a great one to jump into. But I'm moving. The studio's moving, everything's moving, so this episode will be a little bit different, but thanks for sticking with me. And pardon my voice, that's how you know fall's coming, all the allergies and everything. But yeah, without further ado, let's do this. So this video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. Obviously you can see my setup back here. That's where most of the magic happens, but like I just said, I'm moving, things are in chaos, so this video will be a little bit different in how I bring it to you format-wise, but it will still be the real filmmaking goodness you've come to expect. And if you're new here, this is a great episode to join me on. There's so much that you have to figure out how to move when you're moving. Like, I'm in the second bedroom closet, and it's mostly a storage closet. Like, that's what I've used it for. You know, it's like instruments, stuff I never use, all that stuff, but it becomes a very different story when I have to figure out how to move it. So, here we go. Whew, that's a lot better. I got most of this stuff out of here, but as you can see, there's still this whole thing to deal with. But most of it is in boxes already, as you can see. So I'll just deal with all that stuff and, you know, clean floor. That's nice. So, whew, the packing continues. So for today's episode, I wanted to talk about the idea of finding your own creative voice. Now this is something, regardless of whatever creative field that you are in, you know, at Real Filmmaking, we talk about video and filmmaking, but this is something that any creative will struggle with at some point, and that is, how do you find your creative voice? And like, what does your voice look like or sound like compared to other people in your creative field? Oh, sweet. I found this old poster I used to have. One of my favorite films, The Blues Brothers. Highly recommend if you have not seen it. We're on a mission from God. So that brings us back to the question, how do you find your creative voice? And I think the answer is complicated, but it's also very simple, and that is to create. If you're not creating, you don't know what your creative voice sounds like, you don't know what it is, and then therefore you can't find it. Regardless of medium, but like I'm talking about filmmaking and videos because this is real filmmaking, as you make more videos, as you learn more techniques and how to control your camera and you learn about storytelling, more of your voice, like the ideas that you have up here in your head that you want to bring to the screen, they're going to be able to be transferred more accurately to your viewers, to your audience. And as you do that, you're going to get more of a clear expression of who you are, your creative ideas, and that fully coming to bear, so someone can be able to watch one of your videos and be like, oh, okay, like I get what they're doing there. Or they can watch your short film and be like, man, she's a really good director who loves like doing drama. They'll be able to pick up more of the flavors of what makes your films and your videos yours. I think along with creating, like just getting in there, creating day after day, trying different genres, trying different types of filmmaking, you know, whether it be like documentary filmmaking or vlogging or travel videos or, you know, talking heads or promo videos, like whatever. There's so many different types of filmmaking, and as you try those different styles of filmmaking, you start to really get a grasp on like, what are the stories that I want to tell? What are the stories that I feel like I have a good handle on? What interests me? What are the skills and techniques that I've learned that really help to shape the things that I care about? And as you do that, you start to find more and more that's where your creative voice is. That's where it is. It's all these things mixed together, And as people watch your films, as you watch your films, as you create your films, you'll start to see that emerge way more. So the more that you create, the more you will start to find your creative voice. The more things you try, all these things roll into helping us figure out what our creative voice is and how we should use it. So here's one of the difficult things about moving. It's not just like you're moving boxes, you know, like having to move stuff. It's like you're actually having to organize and figure out like, what am I actually moving? Like this box, it's like a lot of old CDs and stuff that maybe I'll keep. But then there's stuff like this. This is like an old school, like before iPods were a thing, like old school MP3 player. Like what am I gonna do with this? You're kind of like, that's a fun relic, I guess, something to like, I don't know, talk about, but what are you gonna do with this? So this is where this video ends, down in the depths of the boxes. They're gonna eat me alive. But to that second question I posed, you know, about creative voice and comparing yourself to other creatives, what I would say about that is, you know, there's lots of creatives that we aspire to be like. There's so many directors and like YouTube content creators who have made videos or films that we just love, and we rewatch them and you're like, man, I would love to do this, and we learn different skills from them and all these things that are great. But at the end of the day, like, we have to walk a fine line of like, we want to emulate them, but we don't want to copy them. And as we do that, we have to remember that they're them and I am me and you are you, and all the things that are great about that amazing director over there that we love, you know, they have something that defines who they are, their creative voice. But in the same way, you have something and I have something that define who I am, who you are as a creative. And we have to keep that in mind. Don't do it like them, do it like you, because there's no one else on planet Earth who can do it just like you can. Your voice is still uniquely yours. And I think as we learn and understand that more as creatives, that like, they can't do it like me, only I can do it like me, that becomes one of the major key components in helping us define our creative voice. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful and partially comedic, all the moving, and you're seeing real behind the scenes here. But if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. Yeah, I appreciate you all watching these videos, and until next time, keep watching movies, keep making movies, and I'll see you next time on Real Filmmaking.